For this presentation, I will talk about Andy Murray. For those who don't know, Andy Murray is a professional tennis player. He is one of the one of the best players nowadays. And it's a story about him that really impacted me and I respect a lot about him. Andy Murray was born on May 15, 1987, on Dublin, a really small town in Scotland. He was raised there with his mom and his dad. They divorced when he was really young, so he was never too much into the family. His dad. He was living. He always was playing tennis because the family, since the great grandmother, then the grandmother, then his mother, and then him start play tennis. So it was a family of tennis. So he was really talented. He was really, his grandmother says that he was really competitive all his life, and more because he was the small brother. So he always, like in a typical relationship between a small brother and your big brother, always like, because of logic, because he's bigger and everything, the big brother always win in sports and everything. So he was really competitive in everything and against his brother. Everything that Andy Murray played. So he was really talented in tennis. So he went to play a tournament when he was 11 years old. And when he was playing a tournament in London. So when he was playing, he met Rafael Nadal, one of the best player in the history of clay, and one of the best players now. He met Rafael Nadal, and Nadal was not studying in school and anything. He was just dedicating his life to tennis, to be a professional. So Andy called his mom like, I just met Rafael Nadal. He doesn't attend to school. He just plays tennis like 5 hours a day. So that's what I need. I almost beat him, and I just play 2 hours a day. And so his mom was really impressed, like how Andy was really interested of becoming a professional tennis player. So at age of 11, he was moved to Barcelona, Spain, to one of the best tennis academies of the world. So the director of the academy started playing with him to see if he will make it to the academy or no, to see if he was talented. And the director was really impressed of how Andy Murray played tennis. So he started playing tennis in the academy until he was gonna be there in the academy for almost 4 years. So then at 16 started playing junior tennis, like before making it to pro, and then pro, if he will make it. But it was obviously that he was gonna make it because he was so good. So Murray started in this academy. He was in training with when he was only like 15. He was playing already with the players from 20 or 21, and if he didn't play good, they wouldn't play with him. So Andy Murray was really talented at a young age. So when he started playing junior, he won the U.S. Open the U.S. Open Junior. That is a Grand Slam. He won the junior championship when he was only 17 years old. And then when he was 18 years old, he started playing professional tennis tournaments. So he started getting better and better. So they create like this era of the Fantastic Four, that is Roger Federer, the greatest player of history, Rafael Nadal, that is also one of the best players in history, and Novak Djokovic, one of the best players right now from Serbia. So it were these four, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and Murray. So the thing was that they were winning all the Grand Slam except for Murray. So Federer was winning Wimbledon, Nadal, Roland Garros, and the four major Grand Slams, if you don't know, is first is Australian Open in Australia, obviously, Then it's Roland Garros in France, in Paris. Then it's Wimbledon at London, and then it's the US Open in New York. So these are the 4 Grand Slam each year. So they were winning, these 3 players, Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer, all the Grand Slam. Murray was winning big titles, but not Grand Slams. He was winning a lot of titles, but not what he wanted. His dream was to win a Grand Slam. So when it came, Murray, Federer, and Djokovic had a lot of Grand Slams. So he was always tired of the people asking him, when are you going to win a Grand Slam? When are you going to win a Grand Slam? It was a question that he was asked every day in every press conference. Wherever he goes, when are you gonna win a Grand Slam? He was ranked number 2 in the world, but he couldn't win a Grand Slam. He said it was impossible to achieve it. He felt like a loser. He was feeling like a loser when because he couldn't achieve it. So it was 2012, and he had already lost 4 Grand Slam finals. No, 3 Grand Slam finals, but Australian Open and US Open. So this was 2012, and he was going to play his first Grand Slam final in Wimbledon, in his country, in United Kingdom. Not his first Grand Slam final in history, his third. So first in his country. So everybody was like crazy, like finally we have a British player that is in the final, and it's Andy Murray. He's going to win his first Grand Slam. It was crazy because British tennis haven't had a good player, or they have had 2 good players, but they never won Wimbledon. So the last player who won Wimbledon, this Grand Slam of Great Britain, was in more than 80 years. His name was Fred Perry. So Andy Murray came. He was going to face Roger Federer, but he lost. It was really hard for him because everything that he had been through. When are you gonna win a Grand Slam? But he couldn't achieve it. So he lost his first Wimbledon final and 4th Grand Slam final again. So he contract for his team, one of United States' greatest player in the 80s or 90s. His name was Ivan Lendl. So he contracted Ivan Lendl to his team, but Ivan Lendl had a really huge personality of. He was really serious, straight. He was always like punctual for the for the everything. He was so, and always seeing a smile from him, it was like impossible. He was always serious and everything. So with this, with Ivan Lendl in his team, Andy Murray started improving a lot of his tennis, and way too much. So in this here is when it comes the story that impacts me about Andy Murray. When he was 8 years old, he was studying in his school at Dublin with his brother Jamie Murray, who also is a professional tennis player. But the point is that one day they were in school, and this was a really small town, that it was really peace and love, everything, it was really chill. And one day in a school, someone came with 4 guns and started shooting at the gym, and they were kids from 7 and like the age of Andy and his brother, because they were the same age, and they killed 17 kids and 1 teacher. This was like a huge and sad news for Dublin, who was always a really a town that there was no violence. It was like, yeah, so it was really sad for this town, and that impacted Andy Murray a lot when he played his matches. He always celebrated looking at the sky because he remembered of these kids. So no one ever asked him about his mom, and his grandmother said that Andy never talked about that because it impacted him a lot. and the press respect Andy Murray with that and never asked him about these kids because it impact a lot Andy. So it was 2014, third Wimbledon final for Andy Murray. 77 years since the last British player won Wimbledon, and Andy Murray was gonna face Novak Djokovic. He had never won a Grand Slam before, and he was going to play again another final in his country, and the people was crazy for him. And after 77 years, Andy Murray has finally done it. He won the Wimbledon in his country. Everybody was crazy. Thousands of people go to the final, see it in the streets, in Dublin, London, everywhere. So that impressed me a lot about Murray, that everything that he went through, he also, when he was young and he didn't know a lot about press and everything, he like failed. He said some comments in the press that got a lot of fans against him. So Murray have been through a lot. The shooting of the kids was one of the things that most impact Andy Murray. So winning the Grand Slam after 77 years since the last player's done it, like, I respect him a lot. So yeah, thanks for your attention.